Welcome back, everyone. We have really big updates from Bernie Sanders on stimulus. We also are expected to have millions of Americans qualify for over $10,000 in direct payments. Let's discuss the details in this video. But before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $1,800. It's completely free and takes 2 minutes. All you need to do is open an account using my link. The link is in the description of this video, just below the like button. Feel free to sell the stocks immediately to use the money if you'd like. Just make sure to fully open your account and then click on the green button that says Get Free Stocks. Okay, everyone, over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of speculation over the fact that Republicans and moderate Democrats have been wanting less people to qualify for these stimulus checks. Now, we just had confirmation that House Democrats are planning to move forward with the same restrictions from the first and second stimulus check. That is really good news. That means that if you receive those first two checks, you will receive this third stimulus check as well. We also do expect those on Social Security and adult dependents to get these checks as well. But this is a major victory for Bernie Sanders. I also want to point out that all of this is still being negotiated, but the House has signaled that they will maintain those same restrictions as the first two stimulus checks. They'll have to approve that in the House and then pass it in the Senate, and of course then pass it to Joe Biden for complete approval. But as of now, thanks to people like Bernie Sanders, we do expect those income restrictions to stay the same as the first two stimulus checks, and we also have a lot more things being included in the stimulus package, which would add up to over $10,000 in direct payments for millions of American people. This includes things like the child care tax credit, the child tax deduction, as well as these direct stimulus checks and the unemployment boost. But first, let's see what Bernie Sanders had to say about not restricting people from getting these stimulus checks.
One idea being floated in the Senate, included by some Democrats, is to phase out checks for individuals making more than $50,000 a year. You called that proposal unbelievable and said, quote, in other words, working class people who got checks from Trump would not get them from Biden. Brilliant. Obviously, you're being sarcastic there. It's clear you don't support it. You heard Janet Yellen earlier in the show. She said, obviously, she thinks that somebody who makes $60,000 a year should be getting these relief checks, but she wasn't willing to commit to $75,000. Where do you think the cutoff should be?
Well, I think what we have done in the past.
Okay, I just want to point out the fact that I love the fact that Bernie Sanders not only calls out Republicans, but he'll call out Democrats as well. And right there you saw, he just said, how can we have less people qualify for stimulus checks than Donald Trump allowed? Especially when you consider the fact that Biden promised these $2,000 stimulus checks. So you promise the checks, you win the elections, and then you don't allow millions of people to then qualify for these checks, right? It doesn't really seem fair. And thank you, Bernie, for fighting for the American people. But let's see what else he had to say.
And what we have promised the American people, we've said two things in the last month. We said we're going to get you $2,000, and that's $600 plus $1,400. And what we're going to do is say that everybody, a single person, individual, $75,000 or lower, and a couple of $150,000 or lower will be eligible for that full $2,000, $600 plus $1,400. Now, when people said we don't want rich people to get that benefit, I understand that. I agree. And what we need to do is have a strong cliff so it doesn't kind of spill over to people making $300,000.
Okay, so Bernie is referring to the fact that once you make over $75,000 or $150,000 as a couple, that those stimulus checks will begin to quickly drop. As most of you know, in the previous stimulus checks, some people, if they had kids, they could make up to $300,000 and still receive a small stimulus check. This next one is expected to quickly drop. So if you make over $100,000 as an individual or $200,000 as a couple, you will receive nothing at all, even if you have a child. And that would allow those who still make $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 to still get that full stimulus check. And guys, I strongly agree with this. I mean, those at the bottom need the help the most. And at the same time, there are a lot of people struggling who do make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Think about firefighters, paramedics, those on the front line, even a lot of nurses make less than $60,000. So this would allow those people to still get that full stimulus check while not allowing the wealthy to get any stimulus check at all. And that is what Bernie was fighting for. And that is what House Democrats have now agreed to do. Of course, they're still negotiating this. And again, the Senate will have to approve it as well. But as of now, this is really good news to make sure that those who really need the checks do still get that full $1,400 check.
And that's what I support, and that's what I think most people understand. But to say to a worker in Vermont or California or any place else that if you're making, $52,000 a year, you are too rich to get this help, the full benefit, I think that that's absurd. And it's also, from a political point of view, a little bit absurd that you would have under Trump these folks getting the benefit, but under Biden, who is fighting hard for the working class of this country, they would not get that full benefit. So I think from a policy point of view, we've got to do the right thing, and that's $75,000 and $150,000 for a couple. From a political point of view, it is absurd to be telling working class people, somebody has a decent union job, they're making $55,000, $60,000, sorry, you're not eligible for the program. Makes no sense to me at all, nor do I think it makes sense to the American people.
I completely agree. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree as well. Bernie Sanders has been pushing for these checks. And remember, he is one of the strongest proponents for these $2,000 checks. He's been pushing for this for basically the entire pandemic, right? But we have a lot of questions regarding this next stimulus package. First of all, when will it come? Well, I've talked about this in really deep detail in my previous video. So if you want to see a deep dive on that, go on my channel and watch my last video as well. But briefly, I want to tell you, the most likely dates is about March 15th. That is when the unemployment boost ends. And that will also give the Senate about 2 to 3 weeks to debate this as well. Because all of you know, Democrats have a large majority in the House, meaning this will pass quickly in the House. We expect it to be approved in less than 2 weeks from now, but the Senate might take a little bit longer because of that slim majority. Even if one Democrat disagrees, that's going to slow down negotiations and make things take a lot longer. Now, Pelosi held a press conference just today saying that she wants to approve this by the end of February. That's the most optimistic situation, but guys, I want to be honest with you. It's most likely going to be in mid-March, and worst case scenario, late March. We're hoping to get lucky. We're hoping to get this by the end of February. But the fact that Democrats have such a slim majority in the Senate means that negotiations will probably take much longer in that chamber, and the end of February is honestly a little optimistic. Now, of course, that unemployment boost is expected to be $400 per week and last until the end of August. Everyone is expected to get those stimulus checks, including those on Social Security benefits and those who are adult dependents and your children dependents. Everyone is expected to qualify for that $1,400 stimulus check. Now, the main question here is, will those without a Social Security number qualify? Remember, the CARES Act excluded the entire family if anyone in that family did not have a Social Security number. The second stimulus check included the family members of those people to get the stimulus check, but still did not include those who did not have a Social Security number. Basically, illegal immigrants is usually these people. And then this stimulus check, we're still not sure what they're going to do. Now, Democrats are pushing to allow the families of illegal immigrants to still get these checks. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But as of now, the good news is those on Social Security benefits will get these checks, and those who are adult dependents are expected to get them as well. Now, what about those who are going to get over $10,000 in direct payments? Well, this is specifically for those who have children, okay? Because we've already spoken about, and some people who have Social Security benefits might qualify for this as well. So stick around if you're on Social Security benefits. Now, that child tax credit. First of all, let's talk about the difference between the child tax credit and the child and dependent care tax credit. Now, the child tax credit, almost everyone with a child will qualify for that. Now, the child and dependent care tax credit is only for those who actually pay like a babysitter or a nanny to take care of their child. So a lot of people won't actually get much benefit from that second child care tax credit. That'll be mostly people who are a little bit wealthy and can really afford to spend a lot of money on babysitting. So for this video, we're going to focus specifically on that child tax credit. Now, if you have a child and you make at least $2,500 per year, you are expected to qualify for this, and it's going to be $3,000 per year for a child over 6 years old, and $3,600 for a child under 6 years old, up to 2 children, meaning that a family of 4 would receive 2 stimulus checks, one for each adult, 2 more stimulus checks for each child. That means $1,400 times 4, which brings us to $5,600 in stimulus payments just from the stimulus checks. And then you'll also get that child tax credit for each child. So let's say that each child is 10 years old. You have 2 children, $3,000 times 2 is $6,000, obviously. So when you add that to the $5,600 that you got just from the stimulus checks, a family of 4 will receive $11,600 in direct stimulus payments. Now, I know that's for a family of 4, but guys, if you have kids at all, you're going to get a lot of direct payments. Let's do another scenario. If you're a single parent and you have 2 children, you're going to get $1,400 for yourself and each child, which adds up to $4,200. And then you'll still get that additional $3,000 per child, bringing you to $10,200 in direct payments. And the reason I say direct payments is because the IRS is planning to send you this child tax credit in monthly payments and is expected to begin in July. Now, a lot of people are asking, how will this happen if there's only 6 months left in the year, but Congress has promised to doing this for an entire 12 months, and now they're actually pushing for 24 months. Well, the expected plan would be to pay you a monthly payment for that child tax credit for 6 months, from July to December. Then in the beginning of 2022, when you file your taxes, you would receive the other 6 months as a tax refund. And then for the entirety of 2022, you would continue to receive another year of monthly payments for each child, if that kind of makes sense. And right now, I'm only speaking about 2021. So this $10,000 in direct payments doesn't even count 2022. If you count that, we're nearing $20,000, guys, right? So this is a massive stimulus package, especially for those who have kids. And I've had a lot of questions in the comments. What if you're on Social Security benefits and you have children? Now, you are expected to still qualify. It's still a little bit unclear. Of course, the written bill still has not been proposed, but the expectation is as long as you make over $2,500 per year, that you will still qualify for that child tax credit. Now, does that count Social Security benefits? Does that count towards that income? Or do you actually have to have a job? We'll have to wait and see as the details continue to be released. So don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you updated on exactly who will qualify for this child tax credit and who will qualify for those stimulus checks. But guys, overall, this is really good news. This means that a lot of people will be receiving way over $10,000 in payments, especially if you include 2022. But guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep you posted on the negotiations of the stimulus package. Remember, it's still being negotiated in the House. It is expected to be approved quickly there. It will then go to the Senate, at which point it will be amended. Because Democrats have such a slim majority of the Senate, there will be amendments. It will take a few weeks. Once those amendments are approved in the Senate, it will then be passed back to the House, at which point the House is expected to approve that quickly and then pass it to Joe Biden, who will swiftly approve it as well. But guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep you posted on everything stimulus, including for those on Social Security benefits. And I also make videos specifically on Social Security benefits as well. So don't forget to subscribe for those. And guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Stay strong out there. Help is coming soon. I know it's been a very difficult season for all of us, but guys, just every single day, make sure you take one step towards a better tomorrow. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.